The largest tax-free transfer of wealth in the world is?
Divorce.
Divorce.
Yes. Yeah. I think one of the reasons why a lot of guys get really frustrated with women today is because, and I've said this 100 different times, is that women marry a lifestyle. They don't marry the guy. When Abigail was still over here and I was making the comparison between sort of like the business side of things versus the emotional love side of things, I think a lot of guys think that it should be about the love side and that it shouldn't matter whether or not he's got a lot of money. It shouldn't matter whether how successful he is. Maybe she's marrying into the potential. Maybe they believe in this sort of like idealism or this idealistic concept of love and that's the only thing that ought to matter. Meanwhile, men pretend to be these really sort of rational, reasonable guys, but when it comes to love, they're thinking that love should matter for the sake of love, right? So when a guy is getting married or a guy is thinking about things in the long term, like I would never cheat on you. I love you. I want to go forward in life with you. That's great for him. Meanwhile, you still have to have a lifestyle. You still have to have something else that's going on for you. You still have a burden of performance. You still have to be able to provisioning, protection, and parental investment. And you better have the means and the resources to be able to do that. So you've got women who are saying it's all about romance, it's lovey-dovey, this and that and everything. And then in the next sentence, it's like, well, but if he doesn't have enough money, then we don't have to get married on paper. We're just going to be in sort of this, I don't know, some hippie ass, love state instead of the fact that women are marrying the lifestyle. If you cannot provide that lifestyle, then you are not going to get married. So I think guys overemphasize this idea because there's guys in the chat right now and there's going to be guys in the comments right now. What about love? How come it's not like this? How come it's not about what women say? It's about idealism. Women say it's about love. Women say it's about emotional commitment. It's going to therapy and all this other bullshit. Meanwhile, it's he's got to have X amount. I want to see his 401k.
Hey,
I want to see his SEP.
The largest tax-free transfer of wealth in the world is
divorce.
Divorce.
Yes.
Prenup.
I think it's a balance.
Largest even death tax. Like even when someone dies, you have to pay taxes. The largest tax-free transfer of wealth in the world is divorce.
I think it's a balance though. Like it can be about love, but you also have to think about the person and their like characteristics and their personality and their compatibility. So yeah, say you do lose your job and we kind of lose the lifestyle, but where's your work ethic? Where are you going to then, going back to you saying burden to performance?
I love you because you put me in this position where you need to work on your work ethic and go back to making more money.
Well,
you chose to be a school teacher,
you don't have to
loser.
make the same amount of money, but like going back to the burden to performance, you should be able to still be able to provide in some way, and that we're not both struggling. If we have to both like cut back on our expenses,
I agree with you, but
fine.
this goes back to my original point. If your therapist is not telling you that you have a burden of performance, he is a loser and you need to fire him. I'm sorry, her. 95% of therapists under the age of 30 are female. Therapy is almost completely dominated by women now.
Psychology in
general. So like it's very different. No matter what your therapist tells you, you have a burden of performance.
Okay, so there's a video of, I think it's Alex Hormozi. And Alex Hormozi was talking about there was a point in his life before he was like super successful, right? And he was with the woman who is now his wife. They weren't even married at this point, right? They were together.
Roommates.
And he had to file for bankruptcy because something went south and he was basically going to be financially ruined. And the first thing he says is, I will totally understand if you want to up and just leave me right now because like I am at my lowest point. And she doesn't because she sees the potential in him at that point, right? So there's something more to it than just the ups and the downs. It's not always ups. It's also downs. What would the story have been? What would Alex Hormozi's sort of personality and his story been if she had bailed?
Like a lot of what the experience I see with women now is that they're trying to marry the dude who already built it. And the guy who already built it, that guy has very less loyalty to any woman that comes into his world.
He's got options.
He's like, I already built this. You didn't help me build this. Yes. You were just reaping the benefits of what I fucking built. So there's always going to be a container for those guys. And I watch it happen with other guys too. They get divorced. They're like, I appreciate you, but you weren't here when I fucking built this bitch for 20 years. Yeah. So you want to reap the fruit. Now you have Layla and Alex. It's different. Now you meet and pour into a man, be a gold digger that digs the gold out of that man. You see the vision in who he is, and he doesn't have all of that. Totally different relationship.
I talk about Layla Hormozi all the time because I admire so much that she was with him when he was broke, and she seems to be more into his business than he is. Like when I listen to her talk sometimes, has more piss and vinegar when she's talking about his business than he does sometimes. And I would love to have a girl who pushed me like that. It was like, baby, go out there and get your weird clients laid tonight. Get them. You go get them right now. You do whatever it takes. I want someone to push me like that.
I feel like I've been with a guy like that where I pushed him and I like made him better, but then like he didn't want to support in the same way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I felt like I was a mom at that point where I'm like, okay, do this. So I feel like there has to be like kind of like an equal balance of that. You support me, I support you.
For sure.